Hello everybody, welcome to Car Chase Scene, the podcast that takes place entirely inside my 2000 Honda Spaceship. I am your navigator, Brennan Welch, and today I'm here with Nishawn.
Yo, what's up?
And we're gonna go see Us, the horror movie that just came out last week by Jordan Peele. So, just to get your movie brain kind of working and moving, what is your favorite movie and why?
I've always been a sports type of person, so I would have to say it's a tie between two.
Tie between two. What are the two?
Little Giants. Have you seen that movie? The
No.
football movie? Oh, that's a great little feel-good movie.
All right, Little Giants.
And then Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans is good.
And I just like the whole storyline of just connecting and coming together as one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I always watched that as a kid growing up, so.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. All right, so tonight we're going to watch Us. So Us, written by and directed by and produced by Jordan Peele. He wrote Get Out. For those of you who don't know, it's an amazing movie.
Totally.
It's so good. It got like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like my chosen movie review website. And like,
that's really hard to get on Rotten
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
That is really hard to get. Like, I think there's only like a handful of movies that have gotten anything more than a 95. So it's like, that's amazing.
And I think Us got like a 99 on Rotten
I haven't
Tomatoes.
checked. I haven't looked.
I think it's like a 99.
Dude, I've been on media blackout. I saw one trailer for this movie in the theaters for, what was I watching? Glass. I was watching Glass, and I saw the trailer for Us, and that's all I've seen. I've been like, nope, not looking anything else up, trailer-wise. So all I got is like research on the movie. So yeah, I was like I watched a couple interviews with him about like the inspiration for it. He said he got the inspiration for the movie because he's always been scared of doppelgangers. So like as a kid, he was always scared of like looking across, like being like a train station, like seeing that or whatever. Yeah. I think it's cool he's writing out of his own fear. But like he was on this one interview, and the guy was like, is it weird having one actor play two different characters? Because they all are. So it's like,
I never even thought about that. Wow.
It's weird. And so he said, I wouldn't recommend it. He was like, honestly, it's not easy. But it was really funny because like, he said the crew would be like super happy and like smiley whenever they came in. This is a Seth Meyers interview, by the way. But like all the crew was like super happy and like smiling and stuff. And like whenever they would come in as the family, and it's like when they came in as like the monsters, everybody was like real quiet, like real scared. And like apparently Lupita was like real scary. And like he went into her dressing room and she was like standing in the corner, like just looking, trying to get into character.
Oh no!
Like it's a lot. So I'm scared because I'm not a horror movie person, and I don't know, what was the last horror movie that you watched?
Like an actual horror
Yeah,
movie?
like scary movie or intense, like thriller. I count Glass. I don't know if you saw that, but I count Glass.
I wouldn't call it scary, but it was more like
a thriller.
Yeah. What was it? Escape Room.
Escape Room. Okay,
that was a really good movie.
That counts. I never saw it actually. Was it good?
Yeah, Patrick actually told me to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it. So yeah, and Jordan Peele, because I mean he wrote Get Out, and like Get Out, he wrote a bunch of stuff. I mean like he wrote, for comedy stuff like Key and Peele, obviously, like tons of stuff for Comedy Central, all the stuff for he wrote a bunch of episodes of a TV show. I can't remember what it was called. I don't know. It's somewhere in here. But I actually have a quote that I'd like you to read out because I'm driving and that's not safe if I read it out. So it's under the alternate ending. So basically Jordan Peele wrote Get Out, and like there's a lot of really intense themes in that movie, you know. It's like, yeah, it's deep. Like that movie has symbolism for days. And so I think this is a quote from him. It was a long quote, so there's lots of dots, but this is what he said about the alternate ending he wrote for the movie, that he did in like a commentary post-production way after the movie had come out. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and read that off.
It says, this movie was meant to call out the fact that racism is still simmering underneath the surface. This was the gut punch the world needed. By the time it was completed, it was clear the world shifted. People needed a release and a hero.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I think that's awesome that he's the kind of writer, I'll take it, that he's the kind of writer that can he wrote that movie with a goal in mind, and it was good and like it was well enough adaptable that he realized the goal changed and he changed it. So, I mean, all that to say, I have high expectations right now.
The crazy thing is, I heard a lot of mixed reviews about this movie.
Yeah, so I have too. That's the thing, is I heard a lot of people say, I don't know. And that's another thing, is one thing I've noticed with Rotten Tomatoes, I think I said this on the last episode, is usually if there's a score for a movie that's above, let's say, an 80, people are like, yeah, it's a good movie. And then whenever you get to like 90, that people start, what makes the movie good after you get into like the 90s and 95s and 100s is like, it's real subtle stuff that people don't pick up on. So I'm hoping that's what happened with the mixed reviews, is people just didn't get it. I don't know though, because I've heard some really smart people say that it's I
heard a couple smart people say that they had to go back and watch it like twice to try to actually get a full understanding.
I'm absolutely okay with that. I mean, I'm gonna try real hard and get it tonight. I'm gonna try real hard. So I think that's one thing. I mean, high expectations coming from, first of all, the writers, second of all, the budget. So Get Out was made on a budget $4.5 million. I googled this like right before I came over, just to like kind of get the gist. So I was curious. So $4.5 million to make Get Out. This movie was $20 million budget. So like almost 5 times the budget. So we've got one of the best writers ever. I mean, I don't want to say that. Best screenwriters for sure. Like, Jordan Peele's so talented. I mean, a comedian too. Which, what's with all the comedians releasing horror movies? Hey, Get Out, Quiet Place. Did you ever watch that? John Krasinski wrote it, and he's Jim from The Office. It's the one where you had to be quiet. If you said something, things would find you.
Yeah. That was really good too.
It was great. That's the thing. All these comedians are like stupid good horror movie writers, and so like that's another reason. You know, we got the best writer. We've got like crazy budget going on, and then as far as actors are concerned, I actually have a cast list. So Lupita Nyong'o is the lead and the villain. So she's like the main character and also the main villain, which is crazy.
The protagonist and the antagonist.
She's the protagonist and the antagonist. Like you're gonna root for her and root against her in the same movie. And then Winston Duke. He's the dad.
M'Baku.
He was M'Baku. Yes. So we got M'Baku and we got what was Lupita in Black Panther?
I don't know. She only talked like 3 times.
No, she got a bunch of lines. She was one of the Dora Milaje.
Oh gosh, I can't think of it.
I don't know. Dora Milaje. Gosh, that movie was so good.
M'Baku, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Yeah, no. So, like, the cast is brilliant. I don't know about the kids. I did a little bit of research on them. I couldn't really find anything super recognizable. So I don't know. They could be so-so, but at the same time, I feel like, I mean, when was the last time you saw a kid in a movie like be a great, like actor? Like
Home Alone.
That was the best answer. That was definitely the best answer. Oh man. So we have that going, for the movie. So do you think this can live up to Get Out? Like, as the I mean, not necessarily the predecessor to the movie, but as like the last word by Jordan Peele. Do you think this has the capacity to live up to expectations?
I think it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the simple fact of it's kind of, I don't know. How can I describe this?
You're good. Take your time. I honestly think that with those 3 huge things, cast, writing, and budget, this movie should be getting 99s right now. Like, and it should be getting 100s right now. I feel like if you put that much into it and you have that all-star of like a combination of people and resources working on a film like this, yeah, I think that it is performing as expected if it's performing this well.
Yeah.
That's what scares me though, is like it is early on. Reviews are still gonna happen. The score gets lowered. It's like, do you think that movie would underperform? Let's say this movie got an 80. Do you think Us underperformed if it got an 80?
Honestly, I wouldn't say. Honestly, 80 or 80s period. I think that's just well enough to put yourself over the top of other type of movies. So I wouldn't say it will be.
I love a lot of my favorite movies are 80s. Like,
Like the 80s category or like score is just like a perfect rating that you would have for like, oh, that's a great movie, you should go see it.
Yeah, you know what, you're right. And I feel like an 80 is accessible, is what you're trying to like kind of get to. It's like if it's an 80, anybody can go watch this movie and like have a great time.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of that, this is a horror movie, so having a great time is not exactly the goal. Like, I'm a huge wimp when it comes to horror movies. I watched Glass and Split were my last 2 horror movies. Before that, I watched Sinister. Have you seen Sinister?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Sinister. It's about a writer who finds these these crazy tapes in his attic whenever he just moved to a new house. I didn't get over it. I might get pulled over. So yeah. There was that whole deal with that movie, and so like it was good. The thing with horror movies for me though is I don't like horror movies involving demons. That's too much for me. I'm a Georgia boy, like in the church. Like I ain't trying to watch any of these. So like The Conjuring, like that was too much for me. I watched The Conjuring and I flipped out.
Oh, man.
Had nightmares for multiple days. It was fine because it was never explicitly said whether or not it was a demon, so I was okay with it. It's like, I don't know, man.
But were you fine having nightmares for multiple nights?
Well, I didn't have any nightmares after it. I slept fine after it.
After it. I'm talking about after
It. Oh, yeah, It, like the movie. IT, like the monster.
I was talking about It.
Conjuring?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Conjuring, it was explicitly a demon. Like, the person was possessed.
True.
It's not okay. It's not okay, man.
What was It?
It, Stephen King, the clown, shapeshifter.
Oh, yeah.
Into your worst fears. Yeah. Yeah, that was bad. That was a sad day. And, weird fact about me, as a child, I was afraid of balloons.
Did you say you were scared of clowns?
No, balloons. Not scared of clowns. I was horrified of balloons, though. Balloons. And it wasn't even like the normal balloons that you just like blow up, those were fine. Helium-filled balloons. That was what scared me. Because I had this, I think it was like actually like a deep-seated fear of loss. Like I was afraid I was gonna like lose things. And so I like would hold, like anytime somebody gave me a helium balloon, I would like tie it 6 times around my hand and like hold the bottom of it. Because I was like so scared. And then when I'd let it go, I'd be like, no! Like I was so scared I was gonna lose it. So I'd like freak out. But yeah, weird fact about me. So if there's a balloon in this movie, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind. Not gonna be okay.
I will make sure you be on social media by the end of the night. So.
Oh man.
But in terms of us, people say it's not really scary or like a horror movie. It's more of like a suspense type of thriller.
Suspense thriller. Okay. Because from the one trailer I saw, I was genuinely like scared. Genuinely. I said generally. Genuinely scared.
So like the official trailer?
Yes, the one I saw in theaters. Like you see like the mom, I'm assuming the clone of the mom walking around with like a pair of scissors, looking like she's gonna she's like this. She's got the scissors. And then it's like the little boy, his clone, has like a mask or like face paint that he wears. That was like, that makes me nervous.
Kind of got me too when she was in the car.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like the fact that I saw this trailer, like when did Glass come out? January? I saw this trailer 2 months ago, and I can still remember scenes from it.
Sure.
Like, this is gonna be intense. So I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to add before we get into the final pre-segment, Hopes and Dreams?
Nah, I think I'm good. Go ahead.
All right, so Hopes and Dreams. We're getting close to the theater. So Hopes and Dreams is essentially we're gonna give one thing that would make this movie the best movie ever for us. One thing that this movie could do. So like, for example, last time I saw Captain Marvel and I said my hope and dream is I want Nick, because obviously Nick Fury's going to lose his eye in Captain Marvel because he had both eyes in the movie and he has the eye patch later. So I was like, cool, I want it to be the stupidest thing possible that makes him lose his eye. Like, it's like he pokes himself in the eye with a straw. And it happened. A cat scratched his eye out. And it was like, he was like joking around, like, oh, you're so cute, and he like scratches his eye out. So that kind of thing. So I have mine if you want to think about it for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. I want this to be shared universe with Get Out. And I want the way we find out is I want them to like get on a plane or something and see Rod Remember Roderick get out? He'd be like, and he like has to like pat check him down. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like saying something funny. I think it'd be hilarious.
Didn't you just come by a couple minutes ago?
Oh my god.
That would be crazy.
That'd be really funny.
No, man, I ain't tripping. I seen you a couple minutes ago.
That'd be really good. So who can make an appearance? What could happen? I'd do it. Make this movie awesome.
If somehow Jordan Peele was in the movie himself.
Like a cameo? Yeah.
Not even that, but just like...
in there somewhere.
What's the dude from Marvel?
Stanley.
Yeah, like he was like in every movie somehow, some way.
Yep.
If he would just like put himself in the movie, I feel like that would be like...
He makes like, there's no jokes in the whole movie, he just makes the only joke. Something like that. That would be really good. I'd be down with that. Oh man, that's awesome. Alright, so that was it. That's pre-show. We're about to go watch it. We'll be at the theater shortly. And then we are gonna get our pants scared off. And do people still say that? Scared my pants off.
No.
I sound like I'm from the 30s. No, we're gonna get scared really bad. But yeah, thank you all. We'll see you all on the other side. Adios.
Adios.
Cool. That was really good. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I'm scared to like look in that mirror. Okay, so we agreed on a 5-minute no spoiler time.
Yeah.
So I'm about to start the timer. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so no spoilers. We're talking about, I guess what's easy to talk about is like characters and visuals, because like unless we talk about like really specific character stuff like motivations and crap, like we're not spoiling anything. Who were we looking at and how did they look? Give me a character. Throw one out there. The lead and the
protagonist and the antagonist.
The pre-antagonist.
Yeah,
Nyong'o.
I don't know, her, like,
good character or bad character? Like, do you think she was well done?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. The way, like, she just fulfilled the role, like, you didn't... can't spoil it.
the immersion. You didn't think she was acting. It felt real.
It really did.
It felt real. Winston Duke, the screaming guy, was, like, hysterical. Alright, look. I don't know what's happening. Y'all are all... Traffic's ridiculous. Anyways, no, yeah. Like, Winston Duke, the screaming guy was... Oh! It would just, like, stop and wait.
Yeah, that was, like...
That was crazy.
I don't know. I felt like for it to be like a Jordan Peele movie, like...
That was a little weird.
It wasn't weird, but, what was the dude's name in Get Out? With the glasses?
Rod.
I felt like that was his role in the movie. Kind of that comic relief.
Well, I didn't think that was funny.
But it wasn't like
scared.
funny, but like the way he...
It was shocking and people laughed.
No, I'm talking about the way he just carried himself throughout the movie.
Yeah, there was like... I agree with you. I think there was like one joke in that whole movie that I laughed at. Everything else, everything that people were laughing at, I was scared of.
Yeah, I noticed every time you say that's not funny.
Yeah, no, it really bothered me. People like, what was the one that happened near the end? She had like just stabbed somebody. She started like laughing like she was going insane or something like that. It was near the end. No spoilers because you don't know who she stabbed or why she stabbed them. There's obviously gonna be stabbing. It's a horror movie, but like, she stabbed somebody. She's like, and I was like, this is really weird. And then somebody in the front was like, ha! And I was like, why are you laughing? This is so scary. And that happened like the whole time. So
yeah, I don't know. It's like the audience was like so like in tune, but not in tune. Like,
yeah, we had a wild theater
to like everything that was actually happening.
We had a wild theater. That guy next to us was really funny. In the trailer. During the trailers was really funny.
Who eats sweet applesauce?
We saw a trailer for some movie and this girl was eating unsweetened applesauce. The guy next to her was, who eats unsweetened applesauce? It was really weird.
Oh man, that was
jeez. No, so she was obviously a great character. Winston Duke's character was always obviously a good character. He tried to be the comic relief. He did okay. I think he's a more serious actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the protagonist, as I will call her, was brilliant. The kids were great. The other us versions of the kids didn't have any lines.
Yeah.
They just kind of looked and did, and like were creepy.
Really creepy.
And then the reason that the kids had didn't have lines, but the clone mom did have lines makes sense now.
A lot of sense.
Yeah, like once again, we still got a minute 10 seconds that we can talk, that we can go no spoilers. So out of 10, what would you give this movie?
10.
10
times 2.
Oof, a 20 out of 10. I'm gonna give it an. I mean, the acting was great. Honestly, like I feel bad because this is gonna be like the second week in a row I give a movie a 9, but like, I'm gonna give it a 9 for real. I think there's one little part that I wasn't crazy about.
Okay. Which one?
We'll talk about it whenever I can spoil it. But yeah, 9 out of 10. You said that. I mean, I think what do you think the message of this movie was? We got 30 seconds.
There's a couple things I noticed. Like she was. Oh, okay.
Do a not spoiler. What's a big theme like with like Captain Marvel? It was about how like your humanity makes you a superhero.
Okay.
So something like
basically
big like that.
How you have these internal battles with yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
And then while you're dealing with yourself, there's different obstacles in the way that's not yourself that's keeping you from doing.
Whoop. That's the spoiler alert. All right. Spoilers are on the table. We gave our ratings, and we talked about one of the themes of the movie, inner battles. All right. Keep going. Finish your thought about inner fights. See, I didn't get that though. Like they're literally fighting themselves.
Yeah, but then you had to fight the other family.
They didn't fight the other family.
And then she was handcuffed the whole time, so which means even though like you're in really bondage to yourself.
That was really good symbolism.
And I noticed that. Yeah, the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. All right, so early on in the movie, okay, so essentially the premise of the movie, for anybody who hasn't seen the trailer, I guess we should have done this a long time ago, but even still, like it's another family coming to attack you that looks like you, and that's what was happening.
Exactly like you.
Exactly, like they are you. They're clones of you, effectively. So early on, the other family like breaks into the house, like really scary scene, and then the mom of the clone family is the only one that can talk. They're all in red jumpsuits, and she goes by Red. At least in the credits, it said her name was Red.
Yeah.
And so the mom basically tells them all to split up. So the dad just drags the other dad outside, and they fight each other, and then the good dad wins. And like later on,
and then the little girl.
Yep. So the girl, that was crazy.
That was crazy. She told her. Red told. What was the girl's name? I forgot.
I don't know. I didn't even know the little girl's name the whole time.
Me neither. That's another thing we can talk about. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I think that they said it. I was just too scared to.
No, I don't think they really said it other than once or twice. They said the little boy's name a lot. Jason. That was his name.
Yeah, Jason. They said Jason a lot.
But I don't think they really said her name.
They might have. They did a couple times. They had to. I'm gonna remember it halfway down.
Dude, I'm really thinking about this. I don't think they said her name.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well. Okay. So what did the mom tell the little girl?
Told her to run. And then she made this little
clone.
Yeah, her clone of herself to go chase her.
Mm-hmm. Which is
And the girl said she was a track star, but she was running
Well, she ran pretty far, obviously, because she got to a neighborhood.
Yeah, but
and then made it all the way home in a minute. So track star that runs out of breath.
And then the little boy, Red goes tells Jason to go play with her son, the clone of himself.
And then she goes, "Don't burn the house now,"
because he likes to play with fire.
Yes. context of the movie, the little boy liking fire matters, and I don't know why.
And he had a temper.
Yeah, and she said, careful, he has a temper. So yeah, I feel like the clones, they're soulless, is what they are. And so, the clones, they're called tethered, is like the official name. You learn that at the end of the movie. And the way you learn that is my problem with the movie. This is my only problem. I'll get it out of the way right now. I hate that they just told you the whole backstory. There was no, like, maybe I can figure it out. The end did it great, because the end showed us. So the very, very end, the last twist, showed you what happened. Like, you got to see.
Yeah.
But basically, it's near the end of the movie, the mom is fighting the other mom, because the other mom, the clone, Red, stole her boy, essentially. And so the mom, like, kidnapped him and is hiding him, and the other mom goes, like, deep into these tunnels and is, like, looking for the other mom.
Pause.
Yes.
She's in this place at a carnival, and the name of the place is what? Find Yourself?
Yeah, Find Yourself. It's a mirror maze.
Yeah, I just want to throw that there for the podcast.
Yeah, so that's what she did. She went through the mirror maze and then found, like, the secret door, and, like, went downstairs and, like, deep into this, like, you know, crazy tunnel system, and found this secret lab,
which leads to the very beginning of the movie.
Yes.
Where what did it say exactly, word for word?
The thing, the subtext at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
So the opening scene shows, like, it's just black screen with text, and it says there's, like, hundreds of miles or thousands of miles or some crazy number of tunnels under the U.S. Most of them are useless, or most of them have no use. ...
And many of them may not. What did it say?
It says, and for many there is no use.
No, the very last one.
I can't remember.
It says no known something. I forgot.
No known use. It said no known use.
Okay.
Yeah, many of them have no known use. Known
yes, there
keyword.
we go. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And so the mom at the end finds the clone version, and the other mom, and she's like, "Where's my son?" And the mom's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to tell you all about my diabolical plan." And I was like, "Come on." It's like that's all, like, it's the stereotypical bad villain who, like, monologue for a long time.
Yeah.
Then they had a fight, which was the coolest fight I've ever seen, with the best music I've ever seen, or I've ever heard, because it was the dance.
Yeah. She was that was really good too, because she was really just dancing, but as if she was fighting. On stage,
as if she was a dancer, but, like, also fighting the mom.
But every move she made was, like, intentional, but it was just like every move she made, she was dancing, and she did.
They had a literal dance fight.
She didn't know how. I can't think of how to put it in words. Oh my gosh!
All right, we need to put this in more context. Let's spoil the whole movie right now. All right, so the mom. This is the diabolical plan the mom had. The mom, and she talks like this. And I was like, no. I hated that voice so much. But the mom was like, they found a way to make clones. She said, I guess they found a way because of reasons. She says, I guess they found a way to make clones of the body, but not of the soul. So it's just one soul shared between two people. And so essentially there's some lab under America that's been making clones of everybody. And then they were going to use the clones to control the people on the surface. And for a while it worked, it looked like. And then the project got too ridiculous, so they called it off. And they started doing something else. And they abandoned all of these bodies down there. Like, they're living bodies, like they're human, they just have no soul. And so these mindless, or like these soulless things, like hollow people, just lived under America for a long time. Until a little girl, who's the mom, but as a kid, went to this carnival, and the two of them walked this path to get to each other, and found each other in that mirror maze. And then, you don't find this out until the very end of the movie, the clone chokes out the real one, and they switch. And so their whole life they've been living.
That was really fun.
So I figured that was coming. That's my other problem with the movies. I saw that. That might be an 8.5. I saw that coming. But like,
where did you see that coming?
So I saw it coming the second time it showed her going down there, because you know how she had flashbacks periodically throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Second flashback, I was like, what if they switched? Huh. And I thought about it for a while. I was like, oh, they definitely did, because the mom can talk and the rest of them can't. And so that explains why, because the little girl was like, oh, we're special. It's like, no, you're not special. You're just in the wrong place. And so what happened is when they found each other and they switched, they essentially... oh, man. But whenever they switched places, now you have a human with a soul amongst all these soulless people. So that's why she was the leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my thought process on it. I don't know. And so they lead this revolution, and like the Hands Across America thing in 1986. I don't know if that was a real thing or not. But the little girl had that shirt on, and so the mom was like, so the little girl, whenever they switched, took that shirt and was like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up to the surface, kill everyone, and join hands across the whole country, so everybody knows that we exist. So like, that's it.
Maybe I would have realized it. No, it didn't show it to the end.
Didn't show what?
When Jason got missing, well, like right before, and it got through the frisbee. And on the frisbee, it was, I guess, like a cross
star. It was a red. It was red, a red frisbee with a star on it.
Yeah, and that was the same shirt the girl had on, her clone. But they didn't show it to the end of the movie.
Oh shoot! Yeah, you're right. Yeah. See, that's
so
the thing.
that kind of triggered her mind.
It's a bunch of little stuff like that the whole time. 11/11 too. It's like the colon. The colon is like a mirror, and you can see both parts.
Oh man, that hits.
And then every time you hit one, it sounded like glass. At least for a little bit. I think we might have just been hearing things because of the golf club.
That first hit,
it sounded like glass broke.
Yes.
The first time the girl hit. So there's this other family that's like this rival family. It's like they're friends with the other group, but they're kind of trying to like show off the whole time. You get bad vibes. And so this other family, they go to their house, but by the time they get there, the other family's clones have already killed them all. And so they have to kill the other family's clones. And they do, but the first time you hear one of them get hit, the little girl has a golf club and she swings it. I'm going the wrong way. It's all good. I'll U-turn it up here. But she swings and hits her in like the side of the face with a putter, and you just hear chink.
Like I know it.
Like shatter.
I know my face doesn't sound like that if it gets
exactly.
hit.
It goes, yeah. So a lot of mirror imagery. Like I feel like the whole movie had like little reflective things in it. And so knowing all that, it puts some of the imagery into context whenever you see like the mom when she's downstairs looking in the mirror and she's like real scared. And like anytime she sees a mirror, she gets nervous because she is a mirror image of somebody, and the real one is locked up, going insane.
You know what? I should have seen it coming when she knew exactly how to get to the tunnel.
Yeah. So that was the other thing too. She knew where she was going. Because she walked into that mirror maze and then hit the owl without even looking at it, and then just kept going. There's like a little owl that pops out to like scare you for the carnival ride, and it was the second time she'd been there. She just like slapped it. But yeah, she knew how to get into the tunnel. She found the secret door. She went through. All this stuff happens. Yeah, I can keep going this way. And that's essentially the premise of the movie is. Like I get that you're fighting yourself apart, but I didn't understand what inner demon she was dealing with. Like, what part of herself did the clone represent? That she doesn't have a soul, and that part of you was a soul.
I'm thinking.
You know how they said soul shared between two?
Yeah, and then she broke the piece of paper.
Yeah, and then she ripped the piece of paper. What if when you kill the other one, you get the whole soul? And so the reason she was laughing is because she finally has like a whole soul. Maybe? See, I don't know. That's the thing. That was kind of ambiguous. But at the same time, that feels likely?
I'm just trying to process this. Yeah, that's a really good question.
This is a process movie. This is
that's why I gave it
take a step back.
a 10 times 2.
Yeah,
because I like this thinking process. Like, there's so many hidden messages within this movie.
Yeah.
And even the stuff that we're telling you now, like,
Don't
I know this. Yeah, like, I know we missed plenty of things that.
Oh, I'm sure. You pointed out something really nice about the music. So the music was brilliant, and it was like cello, violin, like dun 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 dun. And earlier in the movie, they were, you know I don't even know what the song was.
I got 5 on it. Oh God. Ooh.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Dang, who's the song by? Anyways, the song is I Got 5 on it, and it plays at the beginning of the movie.
When they're in the car.
Yeah, on vacation. Mm-hmm. But then throughout the movie, in certain fight scenes or like a chase scene, the music was played in reverse.
Yeah, they played the inverse version of I Got 5 on it with like crazy instruments. And also they had the kid snapping. Mm-hmm. So early in the movie, the mom was like, "Come on, get in rhythm," like telling the kid to like snap and stuff. Like, it was just like a cute moment. But then you see the other clone of the kid like just going like standing still, like snapping, twitching weird, and I was like, oh man. So that was a really unsettling scene, and I get it whenever the kid was like, "It's a trap, get out of the car." Mm-hmm. The other kid didn't even want to light the match. The mom told the kid to do that so that the other kid would walk backwards and get kidnapped. Like, and so that was an interesting scene. So they escape, and it's broad daylight, and I'm still scared out of my mind.
And everybody else is like dead.
Yeah, so
that was the crazy part.
Yeah, they're driving through, and it looks like Walking Dead.
You're by, even though you're in this big old world, mm-hmm. you still feel by yourself.
And you know what? That message also applies to the mom with who was human with all the tethered, and to the girl who was tethered with all the real humans. They're like isolated, but in reality, whoa, you're right. That's one.
Out of many.
Yeah, out of many. That's Jordan Peele, man. Brilliant. Such a good writer. And like, this was a scary movie. So what was the scariest scene in this movie for you? I feel like we've started like 6 conversations and haven't finished any of them, just because that's how ridiculous. There's so many rabbit holes, and rabbits are a thing in this movie. I didn't mean to make that fun, but there's so many rabbit holes.
Maybe it was intentional.
It might have been. All right. So what was the scariest scene for you?
I wouldn't say it's scary, but
most intense. Most either jump-inducing or like tense-up-inducing. Because this was more atmospheric horror. This wasn't like jumpy horror.
Yeah.
Like things jump out at you. This was like slow build-up, methodical. Will scare you, but we're gonna take our time.
That's a tough one.
What's any scary scene that you can remember that like?
When they first broke into the house.
Yeah. And the little girl's climbing up. So she's like,
and the first time seeing Jason's face, his clone's face.
That was scary. So yeah, the first scene he was talking about, when they break into the house, the dad has just gone outside with a baseball bat and be like, "Y'all better go off my property," and the mom goes and like shakes her hand a little bit, and everybody runs in different directions, like into the woods. And so the dad gets back inside, and the mom's like, "We should lock all the doors." And the little girl's like, "My window's open," and runs upstairs. And right when she closes the door, you can see like the little girl climbing on a tree outside.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was fun. And so that was like insane. And what was the other one? Jason's face.
Yeah, I seen his clone's face.
He's burned. It's like horribly burned. Oh man.
I'm still trying to figure out that fire.
Yeah. So the fire.
What does that mean?
It has to mean something, and I feel like after a second watch, I'll at least have a better idea about it, because I'll know what to look for. Also, what'll be interesting watching it again is like seeing how the mom reacts to certain situations, because I thought at first it was maybe just because she was like kind of going crazy, but like she's literally not human. Like the person you're rooting for. We actually, what's funny is in the credits it says Lupita Nyong'o plays Red and whatever the mom's name was. Mm-hmm. We don't know which one of those was named Red originally, and which one was named, and which one was the actual mom. Like, we just don't know.
And another thing is, now thinking about it, it was like she was running from herself and all her problems.
Yeah, all her problems, but she didn't have many problems though, did she? Like, she was from this like crazy laboratory where they're clone people, yeah, and eating raw rabbit all the time, and then that drove the human mom crazy because whenever she came back, her little speech at the beginning where she's like, there was a shadow and a little girl, and when the little girl got to have things, the shadow. That was horrifying. That was the scariest scene for me. First time hearing her voice.
At first, her voice was like, oh, I was like, oh man, I can't do this the whole time. But then, like, gradually as the movie got better, it's just like her English did. The way her diction and everything was.
Well, I think she might not have talked that whole time until just then. Like, those might have been the first words that she said.
Yeah.
It could have been, very well. I mean, because the other ones, they communicate by yelling. They like make these weird sounds and like they click and scream and I don't know, and they'll snap. And so basically, the kidnapped mom, after she had like coordinated this whole, we're gonna kill everybody and link hands across America, and do all that stuff. She like leads the charge on the family. That's another thing too, is when the mom's like, they think like us. She knows that for a fact, because like, how would you know? Oh, they know where we are. Like, they're just clones of you that attacked you. Like, you would have no kind of like realization. You wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Unless you
going through the moment, you wouldn't process that.
Like, because they were in a different house. Yeah. They were in like a completely different house, like way far away. Traffic. They were in like a completely different area. This person just put their hazards on and pulled over after trying to turn left. I'm confused. So after doing all that,
you gonna turn left?
Yeah. After doing all of the planning and the attacking and everything, and then the family escapes and gets to another house. The mom's like, but they think like us. We have to keep moving. So she knew that she was. Plot twist of the century. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's leaving me a little bit. Like, I'm out of rope, man. I don't know what else could be understood about this.
And the crazy thing was, when they first showed the rabbits, like all of them.
Yeah, I had no idea.
You don't know how much time I spent just thinking, like, what does this mean?
Oh, and that's the thing, too, is they showed you those rabbits for, like, 5 minutes. So the opening credits of the movie was just zoomed in on this one rabbit that was just, like, looking at you. And then it zoomed out, and there's, like, hundreds of rabbits in a cage next to it. And then it turns out that is one of the rooms in that, like, underground lab. And so, you know, that the rabbit image, I think the rabbit imagery was like the multiplying like rabbits, kind of like, you know, that there are so many of just these things that live there. Yeah. And what's crazy too is the way that they live their lives is like, the people down there have to live like the people up there in like a weird simulated way. So it's like they don't actually do all of the things. Like anytime anyone's eating in the real world, they're just eating raw rabbit. The underworld. I don't know, man. That was too much. Oh, we made it home, and we didn't get stabbed by our own clones. I'm literally scared to look in mirrors.
You know how I just realized?
No.
They had a pair of scissors.
Who did?
The clones.
Yes.
A pair. Think about it.
We gotta end there, right?